Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Memphis Grizzlies. Game 5. We'll see if Taylor Jenkins can get some more calls tonight. Again, a free throw disparity of 15 in the last game, and just seems like a real nice spot for the Grizzlies. I'm happy to lay the 6. What do you think, Mr. Nadu?
Yeah, I agree. This is one of my favorite plays of the night. I've been kind of picky choosy with this series. The only game I've actually bet in this series was game 2. I just kind of used the zigzags here. If you look at game 1, Memphis had a lot of things go wrong, and Minnesota had a lot of things go right. You look at in game 4, Minnesota had a lot of things go right that probably aren't going to go right in game 5. John Morant's not played great over the last couple of games. They're not going to make 18 threes again. They're not going to have, a 10-12 free throw disparity. It's in Memphis, a place where Memphis has been terrific. You also look at Memphis all season. They have been elite off of a loss. They just bounce back. We've also noticed that Memphis has more depth. They've obviously been able to handle Karl-Anthony Towns a lot more. Is Anthony Edwards still hobbled? He's been beat up a little bit in this series. I think this is a great spot to back the better team. In both wins that the Minnesota Timberwolves have had, they've kind of been fluky. I just don't see that happening again. I think back at home, this screams resilient Grizzly double-digit victory, kind of like game 2. I laid the 6 as well.
Yeah. Now, Josh, we've got a little bit of a streak here going on the show. We had consensus on the Warriors -2, cash that ticket. Consensus on the Mavericks -3 last night, cash that ticket. Yeah. Are you going to be on board here? Are we going to have Grizzlies consensus?
We're going to have Grizzlies consensus. I agree. It's the top look on the board today, I think. And basically everything Jeff said about the game 4 in Minnesota rings true. The free throw disparity, not even just the free throw, but game 4 in Minnesota rings true. The free throw disparity, not even just the free throw, but then the impact that has for Memphis as well. Like their entire starting lineup played with foul trouble the entire game. The rotations were completely thrown out of whack. Jaren Jackson Jr. fouls out. You had 3 other starters finish with 5 fouls. It was just really brutal stuff for Memphis to have to deal with. And coming back home, I think, they respond in a pretty big way. I think this is the most fraudulent 2-2 series I can remember in recent memory. Like the Grizzlies are far better and have played far better for the majority. I think 2-2 is extremely flattering for Minnesota. So the Grizzlies should absolutely come back, bounce back, just like they have all season long in situations like this, especially when returning home. Put on probably their best performance offensively and especially defensively. The 2 wins that they've had, we've seen that when they do sort of clamp down defensively, their offense flows off of that. When they're able to play in transition, play off of live rebounds, that's when they can get themselves some easy buckets, and that's when they can put some real separation between them and Minnesota. So that's kind of the game script I imagine to take place here today, and I really do think the Grizzlies go out and throttle this Minnesota team, and I think they probably win the next 2 and close this one out in 6, which
I will throw one thing out. I mean, even in game 4, right, they had a 15 free throw disparity. They had more, and they made 18 threes, and they still only won by 1. Like,
exactly.
I think Josh is totally onto something. To be quite honest, like I keep looking at the series and saying to myself, how the hell is it 2-2? I thought game 1 was the most random performance in the history of performances. They got outbeat in the paint. They got out rebounded, which is something Memphis never does. He's 100% right. I mean, this series, it's just been wacky. But that's that problem you have when you deal with young teams like Memphis. I feel like if this is an older team, this is 3-1 or even could have been a sweep. That's what you get with a team like Boston. So, I think Memphis just needs to right the ship. This screams double-digit win for me.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of youth and just the offensive ability with both teams. When you have 2 teams that score a ton of points and maybe don't have the best defenses, you get a little more wackier outcomes. But it does feel like it should be 3-1 Memphis. I think it'll be 3-2. And I agree, Josh. They probably close it out in game 6 in Minnesota. Let's jump forward to our next game. And again, just a few more minutes to get your questions in for the Q&A section. All of us taking the Grizzlies -6. Grizzlies -6.